Hi and welcome to this multi-part video series called Phone Right. My name is David Anthony. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome, and do consider subscribing because this channel is all about helping you go further and faster in business and in life. So let's get started.
Good morning, this is Paul Dunn.
Yes, read the dream home at Loganville in this morning's paper. Could you please give me the address so that we could drive by and check it out?
Well, I'm delighted that you called about it. Tell me, what was it that interested you about that particular home?
Well, it sounded ideal, but then again, the ads always do, don't they?
Yes, I know what you mean. Do go on.
Well, we were looking for something bigger and on a larger block of land. Also, the ad said the home was open and airy and architect-designed.
Yes, well, it certainly is. Oh, by the way, my name's Paul Dunn, and yours is...
Oh, yes, sorry, my name's Mary. Mary Jones.
Well, thanks, Mary. Incidentally, how long have you been looking for a new home now?
Oh, for about 4 weeks.
I see. Well, it can be a time-consuming task, can't it? You know, there is a way that we can cut down that time for you. Can I just explain that?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Well, from what you've said, it might be an idea to meet and discuss your needs in more detail, Mary, so that we can then isolate just a few excellent properties for you. That way we'll cut down considerably on the time and effort involved. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, I suppose so. Look, just a moment, I'll speak to my husband.
Well, fine, Mary. Would you like me to hold on, or should I call you back?
No, just hold on, I won't be long.
Hello, this is Jim Jones. And all we really want is the address of the home at Loganville so that we can drive by. We're quite capable of making our own decisions without the involvement of a salesperson. I understand you've got a job to do, but as I said, all we want is the address.
Yes, of course. This is Paul Dunn, Mr. Jones, and I understand exactly what you mean. You know, it's been my experience, though, that the best way that I can help people make these very important decisions is to meet with them and discuss their needs more fully, so that in the long run, we save you time and, who knows, maybe even some money. I'll be free in about an hour from now. Perhaps I could come round and pick you up. It does normally make a lot of sense to approach things that way. Do you know what I mean?
Well, maybe so, but I don't want a repeat of last weekend's performance.
How do you mean? It sounds like you've had a bad experience with a salesperson, Mr. Jones. Could you tell me about it?
Well, I don't want to burden you with it, but we spent the whole bloody day in and out of cars and houses. It was really frustrating.
Sure sounds like it was. You know, that's why it's very important that we meet and discuss what you'd really like. You see, that way we can avoid the frustration. So, given that it would make things a lot easier for you, would you prefer we meet later this afternoon, Mr. Jones? Say at around, 2:20.
Yes, that will be okay.
Well, that's fine. Look, all I need is a note of your address. Could you just give me that and I'll take a note of it?
Yes, it's 13 Oak Street, Hawthorne.
Right, let's see if I got that. Number 13 Oak Street, that's O-A-K Street, Hawthorne. Oh, and just in case, I'll take a note of your phone number. It's...
313-4654.
Okay, 313-4654. Mr. Jones, I'll look forward to meeting you and Mary at 2:20 and discussing your needs in more depth so that we really can find out what you're looking for in a home. I'm glad we talked it through, and again, I'm really looking forward to meeting you both. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You see, even when the going gets a little tough, applying all of the skills makes it so much easier. And one of the reasons for that, of course, is that all of the skills, as we said, are based on caring for others. Caring enough to ask the questions, caring enough to see things from their point of view, caring enough to talk in their language, and caring enough to recognize that you won't help them solve their problem unless you ask the caller to make a commitment. Of course, sometimes when you ask the caller to make a commitment, he may well express some concerns with that. Again, though, applying the standards absolutely helps in that situation too. Take a listen.
Good afternoon, Supercomputers. This is Mary speaking.
Oh, hi. I'd like to speak to someone about your new 9300 computer.
Thank you very much for calling. There are 3 people dealing with the 9300, so could I just ask which industry you're in?
Certainly. I'm an accountant.
I see. David Smith looks after that, so I'll put you straight through to him. Would you mind just holding the line for a moment, please?
Sure.
Good afternoon. This is David Smith.
Yes, good afternoon. My name's John Hannon, and I'd like you to post me one of your brochures on the 9300 computer, please.
Nice to hear from you, Mr. Hannon, and we're certainly getting a lot of calls about the 9300. Tell me, what was it in particular that interested you about the 9300?
Well, I saw one of your ads in the accounting journals, and it seemed a pretty low-priced machine.
Yes, the 9300 has attracted a lot of comment because it does offer such excellent value. Can I just ask, what sort of application did you have in mind, Mr. Hannon?
Well, I'm a chartered accountant, but all I wanted to do at this stage was look at the brochure.
Yeah, of course. Going through brochures can be a good way of getting an initial feel for a system. And just so that I can help you as much as possible, Mr. Hannon, if the 9300 did fit in well with your ideas, when do you believe you'd want to take advantage of the increasing productivity it brings?
Well, if it did, and that's a pretty big if at this stage, of course, we'd be looking at doing something in about 3 months from now.
Uh-huh. By the way, what sort of installation do you currently have?
Well, none exactly. We've steered clear of computers until now, but they're very much the coming thing, aren't they?
Well, more and more people are getting involved with our systems, Mr. Hannon. You know, since you haven't used computers before, it might be a good idea to meet so that you can just outline those areas of your practice which you feel can best benefit from something like the 9300. Now, that way, you'd be able to save a considerable amount of time and possible confusion. Is that making some sense?
Well, yes, but I'm very busy, and which is why I wanted the brochure I thought that'd be best at this point.
Well, you know, Mr. Hannon, it's been my experience that we can probably save you a lot more time and a potential trauma by just having an exploratory meeting, maybe just for 15 minutes or so. It's a few minutes that might save you many, many days. I'm free around about 3:50 on Wednesday afternoon. How would that fit in with your diary?
Well, no, I'm tied up at that time.
Uh-huh. Well, then, what would you prefer, Thursday morning or maybe Friday afternoon?
Let me see. Yes, Friday is okay.
Oh, that's great, Mr. Hannon. Can we make it just before 3, let's say 2:50?
Did you say 2:50?
Yes, 2:50. Is that okay with you?
Well, yes, that looks fine.
Now, let me confirm that time, Mr. Hannon. 2:50 at your office on Friday afternoon, the 5th of December. Now, I'd better just take note of the details down here. The name of your practice...
Again, you'll have noticed the open questions and the realization that a brochure wasn't going to help Mr. Hannon at all. And again, you'll have noticed how the skills work. Of course, sometimes the calls you get might be really difficult to handle. For instance, you might get a complaint call, a call from someone who's dissatisfied with your product or your service. Just how do our performance standards work in this situation? Well, before we look at that, let's just talk briefly about this whole area of complaints. You know, sometimes the very mention of the word complaints makes some people shiver and grit their teeth. Yet others, you and I, understand that complaints are one of the most valuable things you can get in your business. Now, did you really hear that? Complaints are one of the most valuable things you can get in your business. Let me explain that. When a customer or client complains, they're saying, look, you promised me this level of service, I got a level far lower than that. There's a difference between those two, and I'm calling you so that you can fix it. Now, they may not say it exactly like that, of course, but in essence they're saying, when you fix this, you'll be a better organization because of it. So fundamentally, we must welcome, as in really welcome, any complaint call. But it's even more important than that. You see, studies show that out of every 26 people who could complain, only one person actually takes the time to complain. Now you might say, well, terrific, we don't have to worry about the other 25. Well, you do, of course, because those self-same studies show that every person who does not take the time to complain will influence between 8 and 14 others. And they'll influence those people negatively, so that they never even contemplate doing business with you. So every unresolved complaint you have is literally costing you a fortune. On the other hand, studies show that when you resolve a complaint, you have a 98% chance of doing business with that person again. To put that even more strongly, you have to actively encourage your customers to give you feedback. As Ken Blanchard says in The 1 Minute Manager, imagine trying out for the Olympics and no one will tell you your times.
I hope you got a lot of value today. If you did, click the like button. What that does is help us build our non-profit business school, UBLA. Check out in the description below to find out more about what we're doing and how you can help. This is part of a multi-part series, so keep your eye out for the next video. In the meantime, we've done a great playlist about why do small businesses fail. check this link over here, and this will show you a great little list about how you can be successful in business. So thank you very much. Catch you again soon.